Something seriously strange just happened, and this justifies Elon Musk's worries. And we have a few important Tesla stock news stories, so let's go through everything. Elon is laughing at this. What can possibly go wrong when you have AI reporting on every market move? One of the biggest companies in the world, Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, is down 99.97%. It is due to a technical issue, and things with AI inevitably are going to go wrong, just like this happened. So this morning was pretty scary. But the good news is, even though the drop was real, it has now been fixed. So here's a crucial warning to all investors. This is why I never sell my stock at market prices. I always set my bottom limit. Now imagine when AI gets powerful, what can possibly go wrong then? And this is why Elon Musk is laughing, because he has been talking about this issue for a long time. He's been warning everyone. So I don't blame Elon for wanting 25% of voting control of Tesla. This is very relevant to us Tesla stock investors. Elon says, given the pace of technology improvement, it's not worth sinking 1 gigawatt of power into H100s. The XAI 100,000 H100 liquid cooled training cluster will be online in a few months. And then the next big step would probably be a 300,000 B200s with CX8 networking next summer. So this is where probably some of that $6 billion is going towards that Elon Musk just raised for XAI. And currently Tesla doesn't have 100,000 H100s. This is Tesla's Q1 earnings report. And at that time, Tesla was close to 40,000 H100 equivalent GPUs. So a few things are happening right now. Number one, we know that Tesla is not compute constrained according to Elon Musk from before, but probably Tesla is gathering more data, and it's a good thing to have more compute. But XAI is going to have 100,000 H100 GPUs in just a few months. That means either Tesla is very close to that already, or Tesla indeed really doesn't need many more for FSD's development. And make sure you are subscribed to not miss further developments about this story. Only 23.6% of you are. But at the same time, if you have a sinister approach, you could say, well, Elon is taking away some of these GPU allotments away from Tesla, and he's prioritizing it for XAI. But if Tesla is not compute constrained, that's not really quite possible, is it? It will be crucial to watch the next earnings report and look at how many H100 equivalents Tesla has. Because if the number again doubles or increases very significantly in Q2, that means more compute is still really good. A downside of that would be, well, for competitors, it would then be easier to get towards that level. Maybe they wouldn't get there that fast, but they can get there. So actually, more compute being required to solve FSD would give Tesla a competitive edge. However, you can have all the compute you want. If you don't have data, you cannot do anything with it. It's worthless. So compute is important, yes, but data is much more important. Omar makes a prediction. There are a lot of people fighting hard to make sure that people vote no on the Tesla shareholder proposals. The move to Texas seems like it will probably fail, and Musk's compensation seems like it could go either way, 50-50. Hopefully enough people to vote to save the company. I wonder if Omar would sell some Tesla stock if the vote fails. We know that some Tesla bulls like Jason DeBall, Warren Redlick, yeah, they would probably sell. And if you want to know what I would do if the vote fails, I made a video that's exclusively available on Patreon. And today I made another exclusive video for Patreon. The insider trading lawsuit against Elon. It's a pretty detailed video. I highly suggest that you watch it. I think it's pretty important. I've been making daily videos on Patreon, so if you're not a member there, you're missing out. Here's some good news. Tesla ranks highest overall and highest in the premium brand segment of EV mobile apps customer satisfaction with a score of 847 on a 1,000 point scale. I'm surprised that Mercedes is number 2. I had a Mercedes. I wasn't a fan of their app. There were so many bugs. It didn't work a lot of the time, but I never really had an actual issue with my Tesla app. Never. For example, when I had my Mercedes, I wanted the car to warm up itself before I got into the vehicle because it was cold outside. It was winter in Canada. I click the button, start the car, warm the car doesn't start. Never happened with a Tesla. Third is BMW, then Genesis, Porsche, then Cadillac. Rivian is quite low. Lucid is definitely a bit low. And Polestar, wow, Polestar is way behind everyone. Now, of course, Tesla's app has a lot of functionality, but it just works. That's the main thing. Other apps I tried, glitches and issues and bugs. It's almost like they are automotive companies that know nothing about software. I am though a bit surprised how low the difference between Tesla, Mercedes, and BMW here is. It's just a few points. However, even with Teslas, things don't always work 100% of the time. I personally never experienced it, but Omar is reporting this. Many users, including me, reporting issues with Tesla phone key. There seem to be a few bugs in the system that can cause it to stop working. I don't know how widespread this is, but this is a core software feature that must work always. In my wallet, though, I always also carry a Tesla key card just in case my phone dies. I'm sure the card would work for them. It's probably just an issue with the phone. Someone says, my phone key has progressively gotten worse. Too often, I have to take it out of my pocket. 2021 Model S refresh. I have never experienced that. The worst thing that can happen to me is I just need to walk a tiny little bit closer to the car. Let's say my phone is in my left pocket. And of course, I'm right-handed, so I'm opening the door with my right hand sometimes. Then I'll just turn towards the door with my left hip, and bam, it works. Oh, someone says I have to take my phone out of my pocket almost every single time to unlock. More recently, I had to unlock my phone and unlock the car manually. My understanding is that iPhone shuts off the Bluetooth beacon for power saving, regardless of background activity permissions. So it's an iPhone problem only. Oh, but this might fix it. I just got a message on the Tesla app yesterday requesting to allow the Tesla app to run in the background to improve the phone key responsiveness. People who go on long drives will appreciate this. You can now play 75 new free games directly on your Tesla screen via YouTube Playables. Just search for YouTube Playables in the YouTube app, and especially if you have kids on a road trip, oh, this will be amazing. There's a new filing from Tesla with SEC containing this explanation about ISS. ISS recommended to institutional investors to vote against ratifying Elon's compensation package, and Tesla fires back at it here. This is some important information, by the way. Some investors may find the board's argument compelling that it would be unfair for CEO Musk not to receive the award, which was previously approved by shareholders and after achieving the high performance hurdles. However, the concerns raised both back in 2018 and in the interim have not been sufficiently mitigated, particularly given that the board has effectively only offered shareholders an all or nothing option in this vote. But Tesla's board says ISS doesn't understand the very definition of ratification. Under Delaware law, ratification must be all or nothing. Ratification presents stockholders with an opportunity to uphold their same vote from 2018. And I like this part. We are pleased that ISS acknowledges the categorically unfair premise of Elon not receiving the award, given it was a deal that he and the board agreed to, and that stockholders overwhelmingly approved back in 2018. Pay very close attention now, this is very important. However, ISS has a fundamental misunderstanding of what happens if the award is not ratified. Through its robust process, the special committee was tasked with deciding whether or not ratification was the best path forward for the company and for its stockholders. As is pointed out by ISS, Elon has not been compensated during the time that Tesla stockholders saw significant value creation. He should be and needs to be compensated. This plan is intended to incentivize, motivate, and retain Elon, and if not through ratification of the 2018 award, the Tesla board would need to negotiate a replacement compensation package. We believe it is unlikely that such a replacement award would be less costly, less dilutive, or create more of an incentive for Elon. Doing so would present several hurdles for Tesla, including significant time and additional costs, all to the detriment of stockholders. For example, a functionally equivalent grant of new options could result in an accounting charge of more than $25 billion. million compared to the $2.3 billion charge originally recognized for the 2018 award? That sounds really excessive. I'm not sure why or how the fees would be so high, but this is from an SEC filing. So if the Tesla board is not being honest here, they would later get into a lot of trouble. Also, notice how the board says this plan is intended to incentivize, motivate, and retain Elon. Obviously, the board is talking to Elon, so not ratifying this is perhaps likely to get Elon to leave Tesla. Is that what the board implies here? To some degree, certainly yes. Whether this is a negotiation tactic, a scare tactic, that is a bit unclear to me. ISS says it is concerned about the award's inability to increase Musk's focus on Tesla. The board says Elon himself has said the 2018 CEO Performance Award incentivized and motivated him to help Tesla achieve this extraordinary growth. Ratification is about these same things. Additionally, the award requires Elon to hold his shares following the exercising of any options for 5 additional years, which would motivate Elon for 5 additional years to grow and make sure that Tesla is doing fine. So ratifying this award is sort of like giving Elon the next compensation package in a way. To date, he has not exercised any shares. Elon has stronger incentives to focus on Tesla with this award than without it. I absolutely agree with that 100%. ISS says there's uncertainty about the company's future compensation structure and a lack of clarity regarding less costly pay structures. But the fact is, the board says, with regards to the 2018 CEO Performance Award, there's no uncertainty. Elon deserves to be paid for the tremendous value he has created for stockholders over the past 6 years. Not ratifying the award does not mean that the company will save money. In fact, negotiating a new performance award will incur additional costs for the company relative to ratification. With regards to future performance awards, Elon's performance awards for the past decade have been clearly laid out and aligned with stockholders' interests. So much so that early in the board's 2018 process, 15 of Tesla's largest institutional stockholders were consulted and their views were solicited regarding their views on the previous performance award and considerations for a new compensation award for Elon. As we have always done, we will determine future compensation at the appropriate time with the input and engagement of our stockholders. For now, we need to focus on how we restore fairness to our company and fulfill the promises we previously made. So very clearly, assuming that this is ratified, there is going to be another compensation package designed for Elon Musk. And it will probably have things associated with robotaxis being deployed and the bot. There is, however, one thing to keep in mind. The deal, the 2018 compensation package, allows Elon to sell enough stock to pay the taxes. The remaining stock must be held for 5 years. So Elon probably will sell a little bit, but not a lot. This just came out. Tens of thousands of Tesla's international retail shareholders with about $17 billion of stock may be unable to vote at its annual meeting because investment platforms have failed to put adequate cross-border systems in place. Someone who worked at S&P has something to say about this. Supposedly, they failed to set it up properly, except to say they are also owned by the passives who benefit from this, perhaps a class action suit by the retail investors against the passives who benefit from getting more voting power off the back of investors they don't allow to vote. If this vote doesn't pass, I am all for this lawsuit. I agree with Sawyer 100%. Here is 2024, and yes, some investment platforms in various parts of the world somehow don't have systems in place to allow shareholders to vote. I mean, you allow me to own the share, so by definition, owning the share should give me control of the company, which includes voting. If I cannot vote, do I really own the shares then? And the fact that these platforms do not hold US shares directly but through a variety of intermediaries should not be an excuse. Jeff is tagging SEC, and hopefully SEC pays attention attention to this. Could SEC do anything about this, I wonder? Oh, according to the Wall Street Journal, Elon Musk and JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon had reportedly started to make peace. Elon and Dimon reportedly talked for more than an hour a few months ago. Dimon has decided the bank could try to resume doing business with Elon. Most of you are probably not aware of this, but the animosity between the two became public in late 2021. Then JP Morgan took the unusual step of suing Tesla and Musk over $162 million. The bank said Tesla owed the money for a trade JP Morgan helped arrange in 2014. Tesla countersued, saying JP Morgan was mad in part because it didn't get any of Musk's business. If JP Morgan doesn't withdraw their lawsuit, I will give them a 1-star review on Yelp, Elon told the Wall Street Journal at the time. I remember that. I thought that was pretty funny. But looking at their Google reviews, it's not like it would change much. 2.2 out of 5 stars. JP Morgan previously had all of Tesla's commercial banking business, but no more. Tesla has officially opened its first store and showroom in Qatar after the automaker initially launched sales in the country late last year, so Tesla still has a few markets to expand into. There's an update about Tesla's FSD in China. Baidu released a video related to the maps that it will provide to Tesla. There's not that much to see here, but progress is being made. And currently, Tesla China is offering 2 maps, the old one and the new one. You can change between them too. You just do this with the screen. Here you go. And signs are displayed like this. There are also countdowns. Razat says Tesla's FSD unsupervised is not well understood. He quoted Kelly, "I just used FSD to drive my son to a horse ranch for a birthday party. I have a skull-crushing headache, so I just sat back and massaged my temples, neck the whole time. For me, this has been the best use case for Tesla's FSD so far." It's amazing for eating a quick sandwich too. Like, let's be real. We have all one-handed a bagel or something on the road. 1000%. Second best use case for me too. Every time I think about canceling my subscription, I remember those exact moments where it's allowed me to genuinely multitask safely. Time is so valuable. And this has been my favorite FSD use case for me personally. When the traffic light turns red, let's say I got a message while I was driving. I heard I got the message, but of course I'm not going to check it because I still need to pay full attention to the vehicle. But when the traffic light turns red, typically maybe I could quickly check it, but then I would be so anxious. Oh, is it green yet? Is it green yet? Is it green yet? Is it green yet? Now I get a message. Okay, I stop, I look at my message, and then I hear a chime and the car starts slowly going forward. I don't need to be like, oh, okay, drop and then drive. It just starts going slowly so the cars behind me don't start honking at me. It moves maybe a few feet and then I got my hands back on the steering wheel. Also, I really like turning FSD on if I need to change the radio station or the music, or I need to change some sort of settings, or if I'm a bit too hot and I want to take off my jacket. It's just much easier to do any other sort of thing at the same time, while of course paying full attention to the road. Or if I need to pick someone up from the airport and I need to call them and go through all the menus, it's just easier when FSD is on. Then I can still pay attention to driving, but I can also easily call someone. Keep in mind that FSD still does some very silly things sometimes, so if you do multitask, you have to pay full attention to the road. Another thing that I really like, before, if I would be driving and I had to call someone and talk to someone at the same time, if it's gonna be a more difficult conversation where I need my brain power, yeah, that conversation is not gonna go too well. But now, the only thing that I need to do if I'm on a call talking to someone, I just need to make sure that the car is not doing anything dangerous. I don't need to think about, oh, is it time to change my lane? Where do I turn next? No, FSD just knows. It's in the navigation. It just follows the navigation. I don't need to worry about that, so therefore it gives me more brain power to focus on my call. And then my only job is to not hit anyone. But yeah, Omar had a zero interventions drive here. And yesterday I did maybe 1 hour of driving and I got in a traffic jam. FSD was amazing. It just held the lane and it didn't stay too far or too close to the vehicle in front of me. The distance was just good. Here's another drive from Omar. There was one takeover here after failing to go through the gate properly. Right here.
Hopefully that worked. Oh, no. It thinks it's a roundabout. Okay, go around, you dodo. Give it a second chance.
I didn't say this before, and the latest version for me is a little bit better compared to the 12.3.4 or 3. If I had to drive maybe an hour every day, I would be subscribing to FSD now. It still does silly things, and sometimes I press on the accelerator pedal just to make it go faster. My main concern, or not really concern, just issue is it changes the lanes, and then I'm like, okay, if you change the lane here, you're gonna get to my destination slower. It doesn't do it often, but it just does it often enough that it's a bit annoying. The next version should improve that significantly. And also the steering wheel nag is gonna be gone. That's quite annoying right now. I mean, it's not too bad, but check this out. This is a bit of maybe he's capitulating a little bit. Huawei CEO says Tesla has massive fleet data advantage and has been working on FSD for a long time. The system is really good. Since FSD is unavailable in China, Huawei sent engineers to California and Canada to test out FSD. He believes Huawei's autonomous system is slightly superior to FSD in China, the claim of which now obviously deviates from his early well ahead claim. Well, soon they are going to be well behind even in China. He also says Huawei still adheres to the use of LiDAR to compensate for the insufficient data collected from the fleet of several 100,000 vehicles. And this actually just happened to me. My car was on FSD and my car saw, oh, okay, I mean, we need to stop. There's a red light. And then someone behind me just bam, just went. And it wasn't just a yellow light, they went through a red light. There's a statement from China, from Tesla, responding to recent market rumors that Tesla's single pedal mode could be banned. Tesla replied, the standard has not yet been officially announced and implemented and will not affect existing products and features, at least for now. There's this associate professor in business law. She was just on TV and she had a few things to say. It's legally questionable whether Musk can undo the judge's ruling on Tesla Pay. So even if this does get approved right now, expect more lawsuits. If approved, it could face legal challenges over issues like potential coercion and fiduciary duty violations. In theory, Elon Musk could even sue Tesla for unpaid compensation. Musk's involvement in XAI development using Tesla resources could be seen as a breach of fiduciary duty, even if Tesla's data isn't directly used. So I personally expect the battle for this compensation package to continue for quite a bit. And I want to talk more about new lawsuit against Elon that we found out about this last Friday. It's about the insider trading lawsuit. It's a 12-minute video that I made on Patreon. So if I made this video a 34-minute video, that actually is not good for the algorithm because watch time, the average view duration then is not as long. So it's on Patreon exclusively. I'm making basically daily videos on Patreon, so if you're not on there, you are missing out. Also, doing a video just for a small audience allows me to speak a bit more freely about things that I know are going to be a bit more sensitive. And I think this video is a pretty important video to watch if you are a long-time Tesla stock investor. By joining Patreon, you will have access to all of my exclusive videos on Patreon, as well as how much I am willing to pay for each Tesla share between 2024 and 2033. If you join the investor tier, you will also have access to my valuation model, where you will see all of my assumptions, including deliveries, the energy business, Tesla's future businesses like FSD, and of course much more. And then if you want to easily download that and put in your own numbers, then this third tier is for you. To all of my Patreon supporters, thank you so much. Make sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't yet as well. It's really important to like the videos because that makes it less likely that the channel will be shadow banned later, like my other big channel got shadow banned before from about 50% of my regular viewers. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.